Hey everybody, it's Anna J. Wellner with the Author Library, and today I have Anna J. Stewart. Anna, would you like to introduce yourself?
I sure would. Thank you for having me. Like she said, my name is Anna J. Stewart, and I write romance. I write across the heat spectrum, sweet to spicy. I write for Harlequin Heartwarming, Harlequin Romantic Suspense, and I also write for Arc Manor's new Kasich romance line.
Oh, that's amazing. And your most recent book that's out now is Building a Surprise Family. Can you tell us a little about that one? I mean, you've had several books come out this year.
I have. It's been a busy year, but this particular one, it's the 10th book in my Butterfly Harbor series. Although all of my books stand alone, but they all take place in the same little town, so you have a lot of recurring characters and familiar faces. Um, and this is Ozzy Lakeman's story. He's been in the series since book one, and he's gone through quite a bit of a transformation. And he's kind of become the eligible bachelor in town now, and he's working as a firefighter. And he's the one, he's the one man welcoming committee for the new construction supervisor who pulls into town with her truck and her tiny wheel or tiny house behind her. And surprise, surprise, she's also 5 months pregnant. Um, so she's kind of doing everything at one time. And for Ozzy, it's one and done. He sees her, and that's it. And it's the book is really about bringing her out of her uh, overwrought independence. I think she's determined not to rely on anybody. So it's really her journey of discovering that it's okay to ask for help and ask for a hand, and that there are safe places in the world like Butterfly Harbor where you can do that and still maintain everything you want to control. So
She
and
kind of
they're a
sounds like
fun couple.
me.
Yeah. They,
Really? I mean, I'm
yeah.
already identifying with this character. I'm gonna have to check this out. And the entire series, guys, Butterfly Harbor just sounds amazing. Something that you can truly get lost in.
That's it
So
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, and you've also had a box set that has a little for everything, and the third book in the Colton 911 series as
Right.
well. Can you tell us a little bit about all of
So,
those?
so the anthology that came out earlier this year was from Kasich Romance, and it was oh shoot, it's a Sea Glass Bay, and each one of us took we created a group of friends, and then we each took one of the friends and created a novella with a happily ever after, of course, because it's romance. So
Right.
it's myself and Melinda Curtis, Carrie Lynn Webb, and Kayla Perrin, and we'll actually have a follow-up sequel anthology to that next year, which will feature four brothers who come back to Sea Glass Bay for their father's second wedding. He's getting remarried, and not all of them are happy about it. So that'll be next year. And then the Colton book that came out earlier this year, the Coltons is a continuity series that Harlequin does with their romantic suspense line. And it's an in-house created series, meaning that they choose the authors and they give the author the story that they want them to write. So I got number three, and I was so excited because the heroine is a chef, and I love writing foodie books. I mean, I love cooking and baking. It's one of my side hobbies from writing. So being able to write a romantic suspense that also dealt with the restaurant industry and cooking and creating its own little family within the restaurant too is really, really fun. So
Oh, that sounds awesome as well. I mean, I haven't heard a single thing that I'm not interested in checking out, which is awesome. So I love getting involved in a series, falling in love with the characters and watching them
mhm.
grow as you write their journey. But I mean, do you have a favorite? I mean, just between us.
It probably would be, but it'll probably be Butterfly Harbor. I mean, I love all the stuff that I write, but although I have a suspense that's coming out next February that I'm really psyched about because I think it's the best suspense I've written so far. But Butterfly Harbor is always going to have a special place in my heart. And right now I'm writing the last book in the series. It'll be book number 12. And I think part of my brain doesn't want me to write it.
I
So
know.
it's been a little difficult getting into the story because I'm going to have to say goodbye. But earlier today, I actually just got an idea for, ooh, I wonder if I could do this with Butterfly Harbor. So Chances are I'll go back at some point
I
because
know.
I have lots of kids in this story, so it would be kind of fun to do a second generation. But the Butterfly Harbor books, it's inspired by one of my favorite places, which is Monterey and Pacific Grove here in California, and it's just a nice place to be. It's a decompression town. You don't have all the usual crap that usually follows us all the
Right.
time. It's just a nice place to be.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know it is so tough. Readers don't understand. They get upset at the end of a series. They're like, why are you taking these characters away from us? And
Yeah.
it's equally as difficult for the author. You don't understand that because we get attached to the characters just as much
Yeah.
as you guys do, which, hopefully translates on the page. And it does because you get people with very strong opinions about.
Yeah, and I'm already getting those emails from some of my readers. They're like, "You're really ending the series," and I'm like, "I really need to write something new." I'm not saying I'm never going to go back, but I
Right.
really need to write something new and something fresh because you can only go to the town diner so many times and have it be a unique experience. So give me some
Right.
time away and we'll see what happens.
Oh, no. I totally get it. I totally get it. But one of the things that I love so much about your books is that they're marketed as clean romance, featuring healthy relationships and dynamics. But was that something that you made a conscious effort to do? Or was that just a natural, organic, progression of the story arc and the character arcs?
Um, First of all, disclaimer, I can't stand the moniker of clean romance. I use the term sweet.
Gotcha.
For me, tagging something as a clean romance kind of implies that there's something dirty about sex. And yeah, there is, especially if you're doing it right. But
Right.
but there is absolutely nothing wrong with sex. And I think the clean moniker really I find it offensive personally. And that's not to say
Yeah.
I don't blame you for asking the question because
No.
that's how it's marketed.
Right.
That all started because of an algorithm put out by a certain distributor, and that's why we have it. And of course my publisher is going to jump on that because it's a way to get the books seen, because
Right.
there is a demographic that are specifically looking for romances without sex. And that's really what the Heartwarming line is. It's community-based, family-based romances that really focuses on the emotional connection to the characters rather than the physical interaction. When you close the book, you figure, okay, now we know what they're going to go do, but they're not going to do it on the pages of the book, which is I knew that when I signed on for the Heartwarming line, and I will be the first to admit I used to be one of the believers that says you can't have a romance without sex in it. Come on. I've now written 14 or 15 of them, and yes, you can. So, but no, it's not something I guess I consciously made the decision to, because I decided to write for Heartwarming, especially when they asked me to, which was great.
Right.
Um, but it wasn't the path I expected to choose. And I don't know that it's a path I'll stay on forever, but for
Okay.
now, it's given me the opportunity to really grow as a writer, because I don't have that part of the book to rely on. Number one, to get more pages, but I think it has made me a better writer, because I think it's made me really dive deep into characters and how they tick and how they connect, because I don't have that physical interaction. Especially like in Bride on the Run, my January book, where they're on a boat together alone. What else are they going to do? There's a lot of talking, there's a lot of cooking, and then I threw in a bird. So, and no, that's not code for some kind of kinky play, but it's just, yeah, the Heartwarming lines, if you're looking for really good emotional heart-filled stories, that's the Heartwarming line from Harlequin.
No, I completely understand what you. Yes, there's there's demographic for every different kind of book, and whether it's whether it's a little more intense in scenes. There's always a demographic for that. I meant from a healthy relationship standpoint. It seems that
Yes.
all of the characters have very healthy, fulfilled relationships. You don't see a lot of, at least from what I've seen, you don't see a lot of, say, bully romance or
No.
mafia romance or anything like that that delves into a bit of a darker space. So
No.
so your books are more, your writing is more uplifting sort of romance, even if it does include sex.
Absolutely. Yeah. And my romantic suspenses can get pretty dark. I've had my first romantic suspense, it opened up with the heroine chained from the ceiling of a meat locker, left for
Okay.
dead. So I go dark, but I don't go dark in, I can't even wrap my brain around bully romances. I only just
Right.
recently heard that term, and I'm like, what the heck
Mhm.
is that? That is one reason I love writing for Harlequin, is I never have to worry about them saying, oh, they are never going to say write a bully
We're gonna
romance
say that. Yeah.
or ask me to, because they're all about the light and the life and the love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to write, no matter how I get there. And it's always going to be positive, healthy relationships, because that's what I encountered when I started reading romance, back in the Stone Age. But that's what appealed to me about it, was that it was independent women who might not need a man, but they want one. And when they find the one they want, they're going to go after him. And it's all done in a positive way. So that's really what my books are about. And fortunately, it's what Harlequin's about too.
Yeah, no, I love seeing that in books. Those are the kind of romance novels that I enjoy reading without that stress of possibly,
We get enough of that in real life. I
I
don't need it
know,
in my
right?
escape
Exactly.
reading.
Exactly. This is
Yeah.
supposed to be an escape,
Yeah.
where you find your prince and you live happily ever after. I mean, that's the whole point of escaping into these amazing books that transport you into this fairy tale type of love, and that's why we love them so much.
Yeah.
Myself especially. So, but I mean, your catalog of not only books themselves, but entire series is so vast. I mean, I can't list them all. There's no way we could talk about them. I mean, we could, but we'd be here until, 10 o'clock tonight. How long, I'm just curious, how long did it take for you to amass such an impressive collection? Because it is, guys, check out all of the books that she has. There is something for everyone. Literally, I mean that.
Well, so I dabbled at writing for a long time, and then when I finally got serious about it, it took me about 2 years to get to where I wanted to be, which was settled with Harlequin, which was always my first choice as a publisher.
Right.
So my first book came out in Christmas of 2014, I think, and since then I just counted them up the other day, because I have published a few indie stuff on the side and some novellas and stuff, but everything together, I think I hit 42 with the book that just came out this month, which is Building a Surprise Family, which is also my 20th Harlequin. So now keep in mind, I have no life. I am not married. I do not have children. I have a mother I take care of, and I have 2 cats who annoy me. And other than that, I get to write as long as I can get out of my own way.
Jealous.
So I'm very fortunate in that way, in that I can really put all my focus when I can into the writing. And before COVID, I was cranking out probably 5 or 6 books a year.
Wow.
I could easily do, well, not easily, but usually 6 to 8 weeks for one of my Harlequins, if I was lucky. And then COVID hit and I was doing okay, and then other stuff happened, and I'm just now within the last couple of months back on the trail to where I need to be. But I will say my editors at Harlequin were absolutely fabulous when things just went wonky for me, and they're all okay. We'll readjust your release dates. We'll really, look at your due dates, tell us what you can do. And, you can't ask for better than that. You really can't.
No, that's always amazing to have someone that's backing you that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to start reading your work or get involved in a series, because there's so many to choose from, as an author, as the author, where would you recommend they start? What would be the best place for me to start or for anybody watching to start?
Well, I think it kind of depends on what kind of romance you're looking for. So if you're
Okay.
looking for a small town contemporary, very sweet romances with strong built communities, that's my Butterfly Harbor series. And like I said, book 10 just came out. There will be 12 in the series. Um, and then if you're looking for something with a little bit more adrenaline kick and some excitement, you're going to want to go to my Honor Bound series for romantic suspense, or the two Colton books that I've written for them. Uh, so those have they have the roller coaster of, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. How are they going to get out of it? And then there's a little bit of a okay. And it's a combination of the relationship growing as well as the external plot driving the story. So those are my adrenaline books. And then my Nemesis Files, which actually were originally published by Berkley, and then I got the rights back and I recovered them and retitled them and everything. I call those my kitchen sink books because they have small town feel and it's a little bit spicier. Nowhere near erotica. I don't write super hot
Right.
sex. I write necessary relationship development.
Right.
I don't write. I
There's a
actually can't
difference.
stand writing sex scenes. It drives me nuts. So I try to get through them as soon as I can. But those three books are, I really like those books because they have con artists and art heists and art forgers and a little bit of a Robin Hood thing. And it kind of has everything in it. Like I said, it's kind of a kitchen sink trilogy. But it's not straight contemporary romance and it's not all the way romantic suspense. It's kind of right in the middle of Butterfly Harbor and my Honor Bound. So wherever your sweet spot is on the romance genre. And then if you like paranormal, I also have a trilogy of paranormal novellas that are out there and some waiting in the wings that I'll get to self-publish eventually. Arc Manor published them in their magazine at one point, and I just haven't gotten around to getting them back up there for sale under my name.
Well, guys, definitely check out the link in the description below to check out all of Anna's books, and start wherever. I know Butterfly Harbor would be probably my pick, my personal pick, probably where I will start, because it just sounds like, I mean, book 10. I want to like just jump to book 10 already.
You can. That's the great thing. They all stand alone. And then hopefully, if you're reading like one of the later ones, you're like, oh, that character, I'd be interested to see how those two hooked up. And then you jump back and you start off with the beginning.
I'm sold. I'm 100% sold. I'm starting today. Well, Anna, thank you so much for coming on today and talking with me. I'm super excited to delve into Butterfly Harbor. I mean, it's in my brain. I can't now not go there. So, but thank you so much, everybody. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't for more great, amazing upcoming content and guests. And just thank you again. I really appreciate it. I had a great time today.
Thanks so much for having me, Anna.
All right, everybody else, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you again soon.